Hello, good day everyone, and welcome to our webinar, Revolutionize Your IT Strategy, Discover How AI, Data, and Robotics are transforming the IT landscape. I'm Rohini Shah, your host for today's session, and we're excited to have you join us. Today, we explore the latest advancement in IT strategy. We're thrilled to have with us Robert Hales, a distinguished leader in AI and robotics. Robert has been at the forefront of integrating these technologies into IT strategies, driving significant transformations across industries. Robert, welcome and thank you for being here.
Hey, Ronnie, I'm looking forward to discussing more about AI, robotics, and data.
That's amazing, Robert. Let's kick things off by discussing how AI, data, and robotics are currently impacting IT strategies. What challenges are you seeing in the industry today?
So, when we're dealing with a new technology, one of the very first things that you're going to find is that skill. We need people who are knowledgeable with AI, people who know how to work with it, work with gathering massive amounts of data and being able to make sense of it. And that is a huge struggle for a lot of companies right now, especially as we're dealing with more complex solutions like OpenAI and things like Copilot and Gemini. And so it's a challenge that major business leaders are working to address.
Well, I think that actually leads me to the next question in a way that how is AI influencing the integration of HR with IT, particularly in terms of workforce management and strategy? What are your thoughts around this?
So when we're dealing with HR and dealing with management, we're seeing a lot of just automation. And that's the name of the game across the board, whether it is HR, sales, marketing, even development, there is this automation process. And so if you want to make sure your HR organization is running efficiently, then you need to make sure that your employees understand how AI works and how they can best utilize it to make sure that automation is efficient and we're not just putting a bunch of applicants, complaints, or other issues directly into the trash can or directly into other people, but we're finding a good way to weed out what is important and needs to be handled by human staff and what can be addressed by an AI technology.
Thanks a lot for sharing your inputs. I think that's amazing, and I'm sure a lot of people would benefit with this information. With regard to challenges in implementing AI and robotics in IT, right? So, talking about this topic, I wanted to ask you what challenges do organizations face when implementing AI and robotics in their IT strategies, and how can they overcome them?
So there's a number of strategies. There's a number of challenges to their strategies that come into play. Some of the first is having people understand that this is just a new technology. We're not dealing with Skynet or robots coming down to enslave humanity, but this is a tool like electricity or anything else to help us get better at our jobs and be able to be more efficient. We're finding challenges with people who are, like we mentioned earlier, able to work with these technologies in an efficient way. There is the challenge, especially with AI, is managing massive amounts of data. With AI, that's how we train our models. That's how we get better insights is through large amounts of data. And how do we handle that data? How do we categorize that data? How do we ensure that data is kept safe and we don't have a catastrophe like recently with social security numbers or other sensitive or personal information leaked out?
Well, in your industry experience, Robert, would you be able to touch upon an example, like a case study or something like a story that people would want to hear and learn from?
Yeah, one of them that I like just because it's pretty simple is McDonald's. McDonald's made a fully automated restaurant here in my home state of Texas in the United States, and they created a McDonald's that was fully automated. And this is a fairly extreme example now, but a push to show this is what we're going towards is that we can take jobs that are relatively undesirable. As somebody who has worked at a fast food restaurant before, it's nice to be able to automate that and not come home smelling like grease every day. We also have plenty of doctors working with AI technologies in research hospitals, working with AI to give them recommendations as they're performing surgery to say, hey, we actually should cauterize that before we have a hemorrhage or other medical concerns. I am not a doctor, so but the AI does. It knows what to do. It's learned from the past, and so we see this in even the Harvard Business Review wrote an article about how AI is helping sales teams and marketing teams be more efficient and make sure that we can get better customer satisfaction than if we were just going with our gut or just simple notes.
Amazing. I think the McDonald's example was quite relatable. Moving forward, I'm sure a lot of viewers would be interested to know real world applications and the success stories from you. Well, if you could slightly elaborate more on some more real world examples where AI and robotics have successfully transformed IT strategies.
Absolutely. So when we're looking at development, when we have technologies like Copilot for GitHub, where we're able to work with our own repositories and be able to work with our own code and have Copilot help us use our own code to generate new code, we have a lot of the guesswork taken out. Instead of trying to remember where you put a piece of code that helps reach out to a certain API call that you're looking for, or if you're looking for ways to create a function that already exists, instead of searching through your repositories, we can use technologies like Copilot for GitHub in order to expedite developers' roles. And we see this happening in major companies across the globe.
Sorry, I was just on mute. Um, well, I think going forward, why don't we talk about the future of AI and robotics and IT? Looking to the future, where do you see AI and robotics heading in the IT landscape?
So, in the IT landscape, I see that robotics is going to play a greater role because of its precision. Marrying that with AI, we're going to be able to have smarter robotics that are able to do more complex tasks that could be considered dangerous, especially working with things like surgeries, working with things like underwater welding, where there's lots of dangers. We don't have to put humans in danger, we can do it more automatically. And so the future of AI, I think, is going to not necessarily get rid of jobs, but it will definitely transform the job field where surgeons now work with robotics, that we're going to have marketing and sales members work with AI tools to find the best possible way to serve customers. And at the end of the day, that's what we're looking for. We want to make customer experience better. We want to have our resources run as efficiently as possible. Nobody wants their power lines down for hours during a storm. Nobody wants to run out of water. Nobody wants to have these major catastrophes that we see, like earthquakes and hurricanes, disrupt life. With AI and robotics, we are able to cut those times potentially in half or more as we improve these technologies.
That's amazing. I think it's a great piece of information. Thank you, Robert, for sharing your insights. I think it's time for now to have some questions from our audience. Let's take a look at the first one. Um, the first question is, what role do you think AI will play in cybersecurity within IT infrastructure?
So, AI is going to be absolutely critical in cybersecurity. Just being a because just as fast as AI could potentially look to find passwords, codes, etc., we need something just as fast being able to counteract. So we're going to find that cybersecurity is going to be extremely helpful in identifying attacks earlier on and being able to circumvent those attacks from putting any downtime to our applications, or hopefully be able to stop it before it starts in any real sense.
Amazing. I think the next question we have is about what advice would you give to IT leaders who are just starting their AI journey?
If you're starting in your AI journey, which a lot of us are, this is a very new technology, and there's no shame in saying, I don't know. That's why we have AI certs here to be able to help guide you and direct you and your team in how we can best utilize AI in an agnostic sense, where we're not trying to sell you a product, we're trying to enhance your understanding of AI in general. And there are lots of classes for individual fields, whether you're in executive sales, marketing, IT development, it doesn't matter. AI Certs has a lot of great classes that are available so we can get you in your industry ready to utilize AI.
Thank you, Robert. I know I take a moment to address to our viewers today. Please feel free to use the chat box to write your questions while we have already a lot of people asking us many queries. So feel free to use the chat box and we will try and address your queries as much as we can today. Moving on, I think we have another question, which is about what are some common misconceptions about AI and robotics in IT that organizations should be aware of? I'll probably repeat this. What are some common misconceptions about AI and robotics in IT that organizations have to be aware of?
Yeah, the biggest one is that these are perfect devices. They are not. They are tools that we are still working with and training. Are they here to take your job? No. We need you now more than ever to make sure that this AI technology is working properly. We want to
Yeah.
make sure that this AI technology is helping you and boosting your ability to do work. We're trying to eliminate, especially here in the United States, there is a large culture of work and working hard, which leads to burnout. And we want to try to eliminate that as much as possible to ensure that the average worker enjoys coming into work and finds fulfillment in it.
True. I think, in my opinion, AI is definitely not going to replace anybody's job, but upskilling yourself with AI is essential. I would like to also quote that AI Certs today is offering 32 plus role-based AI and blockchain certifications. You could please feel free to log into aicerts.io to view our offerings and get yourself upgraded and upskilled and I think be prepared for the challenges that's going to come up tomorrow, isn't it, Robert? Would you want to add few of your thoughts?
Yeah, absolutely, and especially for those who are, because I see in the chat there's somebody who's asking about, hey, I'm in college. Great, that's the perfect place to start. Look for more of those computer courses, the CIT courses. Get that development background. Work on your skills, and then here with AI certs and netcom learning, we can help you get ready to face the challenges in the workplace and give you the latest technology, because school and college is great, but sometimes they lack a little bit behind. Here at AI Certs, we are going to ensure you are getting the most up to date information and get you ready for a career that can help support you and future or current family members.
Robert, I think, do you agree that I think AI is kind of revolutionizing many industries? You spoke about healthcare, you spoke about F&B, but according to me, there's a major shift in the education sector as well. I'm sure the universities and all the colleges would very slowly incorporate AI in the curriculum. And for those who are interested, we do have a lot of students picking up AI plus educator certification program from AI certs already. There is a huge demand in the AI education sector as well. So, with that note, would you be able to talk about a few other industries that is, shifting its interest towards accepting AI and robotics in their industry?
Absolutely. I think that this is going to be as revolutionary as having search engines were, where I remember as a child I got in trouble for going to google.com to look up things for book reports and little reports that I had to do. Uh, Kids today are getting in trouble for using ChatGPT and Gemini, but no, it's a tool to help you find answers. We're going to see in the education system that this isn't making kids lazier, it's not making employees lazier, it's making them more efficient. We as humanity have always looked for faster, more efficient ways to learn and to grow. And this is just the next step. We're going to see that AI is transforming education. And when it transforms education, it will touch every other industry. There will not be an industry that will not be influenced and touched by AI to some degree. And I can say that would be fulfilled within the next 5 years, if that.
Absolutely. I think so true, right? I think with regard to incorporating AI, irrespective of whether you're a student, you're a faculty, or working professional, tech, non-tech, I think upskilling yourself in AI certification is a need of an hour. And that brings me to the next question. I'm not too sure, Robert, if you could answer this one, but I'd like to just read this out. There is somebody asking about, can you talk about pay for employee in AI engineering field or data science field?
So pay is always fun. It depends on where you are. You please excuse me. I am U.S. based, so I focus on U.S. U.S. based jobs. But we are seeing a increase of AI engineering and working with AI science. So with that, you'll at least see anywhere between 100,000 going all the way up to $300,000 per year, just depending on your experience level and depending on which aspect in AI engineering that you're working with. This is a very lucrative field, and it's one that's growing and has a great need. So jumping in, you'll find a very comfortable uh, pay available.
Well, somehow this question is making me think about the IT boom few years ago, right? Like, going back in history, there were times where computers were invented and softwares were invented, wherein we did not really have a machine to do our work at all. And whole bunch of students learned about computer science. They 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 studied about coding, and where are we today, right? We are talking about AI integration with computer science. And talking about the pay, I'm sure the IT engineers those days were very well paid because of the skill sets and the upskilling that they kind of did to themselves. And yeah, I think in simple words, the skilled uh, employee is definitely going to be awarded. Am I right? This is some example. I mean, this just took me back in history.
And absolutely, because I remember back in school being told that HTML and JavaScript coding wouldn't get me anywhere, and that I
Yeah.
would never get a real job with it. Back in high school in the early mid 2000s. Now this is my career,
Yeah.
where me and my friends we all easily make about six figures, and this is what you can have as well. As you work towards new technologies and finding the innovations, this is where you can grow and find success, whether that is financially or just being able to do creation. You'll find a great amount of success in chasing more, or excuse me, by chasing new technologies and learning more about them.
I think we'll probably take just one last question for today. The next question would be, what emerging trends do you see in convergence of AI, robotics, and AI infrastructure over the next 5 years? I think that's more to do
So
with the trends. Yeah.
yeah, so we're seeing some really interesting trends. In fact, Japan recently announced a new, I can't even call it a supercomputer because it blows all of our other supercomputers out of the water, but its ability to compute is 1,000 times faster than some of our best computers currently. So as we increase our ability to compute, that's going to increase our ability for AI to process more information and process it at a with a higher quality level. And so we're going to see AI get incorporated into more pieces. We're going pieces into society. We're going to find it more in stores. We're going to find it more in HR, in marketing, in sales, in management. AI will be at the forefront. We're going to find a lot of menial tasks, such as driving your car, will become more and more automated through robotics. We're seeing more self driving vehicles now. We're finding vehicles like in Ford where they have, I think it's called Blue Shield or Blue something, where it allows you to get on the highway and then it will drive and change lanes for you. These technologies are emerging. They're always, or not always, but they are constantly growing. And I think in the future, we're just going to see more automation, especially for more menial tasks.
Absolutely. I think there's one more trend that I want you to talk about, since we have students as our viewers today, about the gaming. I know for the fact as a layman that robotics and AI is going to create a new wave in the gaming industry. So if you could just share some of your thoughts around that, please.
Yeah, absolutely. And AI is huge in the gaming industry because when we're out there playing fun games, I'm personally a really big Call of Duty fan. Or if you're more niche, there's also the Helldivers, where you go and you fight these monsters. But these monsters aren't just the follow a strict path and you know where they're going to come from and what they're going to do because they only have a few lines of code that tell them what they're going to do. They're going to have AI telling them, oh, look, we know what player one is going to do. We're used to how player one behaves. So It'll make games more challenging, more fun, more interactive. So I think we're going to find a huge boost in video game quality over the next few years as we start incorporating larger games. The updates will be bigger and will take more time, but the gameplay
Yeah,
will be well worth it.
I'm sure it's going to be more intense while students enjoy playing it. I'm pretty sure it's time for them to even be backstage to create more AI and robotic based gaming. That could be another opportunity, right? So great
Absolutely.
then. Well, that's all the time we have for today. Robert, thank you so much for your valuable insights. I'm sure our audience has gained a lot from this discussion.
Absolutely. I really hope they did.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you to everyone who joined us today. We'll be sending out a recording of this webinar, so keep an eye on your inbox, please. If you have any further questions or would like more information, feel free to reach out. Have a great day ahead and evening for people in India. All right, then. So please, I request the events team to put up the email address in the chat box so people could drop a note to us. And yeah, we will wrap up. Thank you so much for your time, Robert.
My pleasure.